Hello and welcome to video 4 of the How to Market Your Indie Game for Free, where we look at part 2 of a kind of social media overview. We looked at the primary social media channels, the ones that I think if you have limited time are definitely the most effective for you to sink your teeth into. And today we're going to be looking at the secondary social media channels, the ones that if you haven't got time, these can easily be passed, but if you do have a bigger team, we're breaking down which ones do basically what, which ones, depending on your situation, are best ones for you to go with. My name's Lewis and I'm from Neon Bedlam. And enough of that, I think we just dive straight into it. So we're looking at 4 channels today. I know there are many more out there, but we're looking at 4 channels today. In the first video we looked at Twitter, we looked at Discord and email marketing. And today we're looking at Facebook, Reddit, Instagram and Inga. They kind of cover a full spectrum of different opportunities, whether it be kind of visually based, whether it be text based, community-based, the sharing options, and all things like that. I'm going to jump straight into Facebook. Now, the funny one with Facebook is, well, it's not technically, it is the biggest social media platform in the world, and quite substantially. The amount of users in Facebook outweighs most other social media platforms by a long way. Twitter's probably the only one that actually gets close to it. And it's just huge. Facebook is massive. So it's always weird when it doesn't feature in the main kind of ones to use. Well, why is it not there? Because it carries the most traction. It's got the most footfall. And the main reason being is because it's a little bit different when it comes to your cross-content marketing. And what I mean by that is how many people outside of your community can actually see your content or your product for free without you actually having to reach out to them. We know on Twitter you can do that. A like puts it on someone else's profile. Even if a friend of someone likes it, it can pop up on their profile. Obviously retweets and the hashtag search as well. Now, Facebook does have hashtags, which we'll get onto in a minute. It doesn't have the like option. You can like on Facebook, but just if I like something, it doesn't then pop up for all my whole timeline to see that like. I have to actively share on Facebook. And sharing on Facebook is a lot less interactive than actually retweeting on Twitter. Retweets on Twitter are a lot more prominent than actual shares on Facebook, especially when it comes around content kind of stuff. It's I don't know the full science behind it, but it is just a true fact that it is a lot less footfall when it comes to actually, or interaction when it comes to sharing on Facebook. And then we do have the hashtags, like I said. Now, hashtags work similar to Twitter. However, they're a little bit trickier. Now, there are some people out there that say hashtags on Facebook don't work. There are some that swear by hashtags on Facebook. I'm kind of sat in the middle, and I'll be honest. When I've used hashtags on Twitter posts, and when I haven't used hashtags on on Facebook posts, I haven't noticed a huge difference between them. On Twitter, when I put a post out and it gets retweets, with hashtags it gets retweets, and I put a post out without hashtags and it gets fewer retweets, the interactions or just the general impressions on that tweet are drastically different. On Facebook, it doesn't seem to be as much. Now, it works very similar on Twitter as it does on Facebook in terms of if you put a hashtag on there, people who search that hashtag have to find it. But there isn't so much searching going on really on Facebook, especially around the gaming community. And maybe that's why the traction's a little bit less. So why would you use Facebook? Facebook is probably best seen as a light version of Discord. And that's a kind of the best way to probably use it for an indie team, for a small team. You open a page, obviously, and you can run it as a community page because you don't have that cross kind of promotional content or that cross marketing as you do on Twitter. A lot of the posts you put on your page in Facebook are the more intimate posts you'll be putting on Twitter. The ones without the hashtags, the one that are tapping into a community you're already part of. People have come and followed you on Facebook and you're tapping into them on there. So it's never a bad idea to have a Facebook if you can run it. But it is another platform where you need to be sharing content. You need to be actively updating it. On Discord, you can get away with posts every 2 weeks, maybe even just once a month, interacting here or there, but then posting once a month like a dev blog. On Facebook, it needs to be a little bit more active because Facebook has these algorithms running and they like to see an active page, and then interactions on your posts help the page kind of bump up with different algorithms. So it is like a light Discord. It's like a light Discord. However, it does need feeding. It needs interaction. It needs community activeness to kind of really grow itself. So don't feel, if you're limited on time, don't feel like a Facebook is a must. It's not a must actually. It's a little bit trickier. If you want to if you're interested in Facebook, there's an article that you can see on the screen now, which is by Mav Social. And again, it's linked down below. Read through that. That'll kind of break down hashtags, what work, what don't work on Facebook, how you can kind of run a page on Facebook. And you can make a more informed decision over there. But I've worked with many games that don't have Facebook pages. And honestly, it's not made little difference. I've also worked with games that have had Facebook pages. And I've stretched the content as thin as I possibly can to get content on there. And it's got almost zero interactions compared to Twitter, where it's had, I don't know, like 20 to 30 likes and 10 retweets. So in comparison, it's drastically less impressionable than Twitter is. And that's something that is key to know going forward, especially if your resources are limited. Now we're going to look at Reddit. Now, my God, Reddit is a different beast. And I mean that in every sense of the term. Reddit is a very, very bizarre one. I'm going to throw this straight out there now. An article, it's probably one of the best articles I could find on this, and I read through quite a few, by Curvaro, you can see on the screen now. I definitely recommend reading this through if you're interested in Reddit. Now, Reddit can be amazing for your digital marketing. It can be great because Reddit obviously has these subreddits, and if you're completely new to Reddit, these subreddits are like mini communities, and you can tap into very niche mini communities built around a niche genre of your game or a gameplay mechanic in your game or maybe even an art style of your game. However, all of these subreddits have their own individual set of rules. Some don't allow self-promotion. Some say self-promotion once a month. Some say that you have to be affiliated or accepted by them and allowed to put self-promotion on there. Reddit itself doesn't like self-promotion. You have to interact with a lot of content and put a lot of non-self-promotion content out there to heavily outratio all the self-promotion content on there as well. The best thing I can say about Reddit is if you've never used Reddit before, if you don't have a Reddit account, stay away from Reddit. And I know that sounds crazy, but I'm talking about this from the perspective of a small development studio. If you've not used Reddit before, it's not very new user-friendly. It's very cumbersome to use for digital marketing. And it's just a bit of a wild west, to be honest, when it comes to digital marketing. If you've used Reddit before, if you've got a good Reddit account in there, you've got some good karma built up in there, you understand it, you've already got kind of reputation maybe built up in some of these subreddits you've been connecting with people in, then by all means go ahead and use Reddit. And you can share trailers, you can share assets in there and all things like that. One thing I will say is, from experience, linking web pages in Reddit is a lot more effective than directly linking Steam pages. I can't tell you the reason behind it, but when I've linked a web page, it's had a lot more click-throughs rather than just directly linking a Steam page. Maybe because it comes across a little bit less sales-like. Go to the storefront page and wish list a game rather than, hey, check out my game's website. So that's a little tip there for Reddit. But like I said, if you've never used Reddit, by all means, don't feel like you have to cover Reddit because it is a genuinely tricky beast. And if you are interested, make sure you check out that Curavo post that I've just shared in this video, or it's shared below. And next, we're going to move on to Instagram. Now, Instagram's one that most people probably have an Instagram account, and you're thinking, well, I share pictures of my pizzas and dogs on this account. Why would I have this for my video game? And it's one that is growing quite quickly in the video game space, actually. And I'm seeing more studios actually running Instagram pages on a more regular basis. Now, it's great because it is very quick and easy to upload to. Now, you can only upload to Instagram via your phone unless you're using something like Sprout Social or another kind of social media management tool. But most people will just be able to upload from their phone. The trickiness comes to that when you have to kind of have the right format. I use 15 by 15. 1500 by 1500 when I'm editing photos and videos for Instagram. But you can basically use a Google Drive, link it to your phone and download stuff there. That's how I do my workflow. Is I edit stuff straight into a G Drive. I open the G Drive on my phone and I rip stuff down that I want to do and go straight onto Instagram. Instagram is great into that awareness. So if we go back to that awareness into attention into interest, the building up the attention of stuff is great on Instagram because it is literally just spamming visuals of your game, screenshots, gameplay GIFs, gameplay videos. People are just looking to digest through the content. And the nice thing about Instagram is the hashtags are, it's where hashtags are the most prominent, because you can have up to 20 hashtags really, and it doesn't seem bad. What I would do is if you're using hashtags on Instagram, here's a good tip for you. Write your, put your picture in, write your post out, and then leave around about 4 or 5 full stops going down a line each one to then put your hashtags on. The reason for that is if someone clicks read more to actually read your post, they're not going to be flooded on the screen with hashtags. It actually reads your post, and then your hashtags still count, but they don't clog your screen up or make your writing come across as cumbersome by clogging up your actual post. But Instagram is great for that because people will be looking for certain stuff. People will follow hashtags. People actually follow channels. People follow indie game hashtags. So anything that's hashtag indie game will just appear on their channel. So it's great for that kind of cross marketing, that digital marketing. But the issue comes with Instagram is it's very asset heavy. It can be very taxing in terms of Instagram it's fed on such a fast basis. But if you just post 3 times a week, your posts just disappear like that into the ether. Especially if you're using something like gaming and indie gaming and roguelike or Metroidvania, it's just going to disappear. You're going to be live for, I don't know, probably an hour, and then it'll just disappear into the ether because it's such an active platform. Meaning you want to be posting about 5 to 7 times a week on Instagram because you want to make sure different audiences are always trying to see your content. So it can be very asset heavy. If you're interested in Instagram or more of the kind of visual marketing that Instagram offers, I definitely recommend opening up an Instagram account slightly later along your development timeline when you actually have the assets available and just building a big portfolio of these assets. I'm talking probably around about 50 to 100 screenshots, gameplay GIFs, in-engine videos, anything you've possibly got. Now, another route you have for Instagram is it's actually becoming a very popular place for smaller gaming press. Now, I say gaming, influencers is the best one to say that. There are like indie game influencers who have like 50,000 followers on Instagram, and all you have to do is you find them. They have their contact information in the bio, and you can literally just contact them and send them some assets. So I do it on a regular basis with clients I work with. Rather than me, if they don't want an Instagram account running for me, then it's fine. Like I won't run the Instagram account. Obviously it costs additional funds for them. But what I will do is I'll knock together maybe a folder of 20 assets, Instagram friendly, and just email that to the person and just say, hey, can you just put these out when you've got time? And then they will just basically market your game for free. Their page, their brand lives off having content. So me giving them content for free means they're going to post it, and they're posting it for free for me. Instagram is it's tough to link through. People have to click to your profile to then actually go through and look at your page, your Steam page, and all things like that. It's a bit trickier. You can't really link websites in the actual comment. It just doesn't really work very well, and it's all a little bit tricky. So you're using it mainly for brand awareness. You're not really using it for click through. It's mainly brand awareness. Whereas obviously Twitter's a lot more click through because you can offer a lot more CTA action on your tweets. So having someone else actually post these for brand awareness isn't bad. It's going to build up the brand awareness. I'm actually working on a game at the moment called Jupiter Moon's Mecha, and I've reached out to some people when they've been posting stuff on it, and I've been asking people whether they've been seeing stuff. People in the community now have been saying that they've been seeing stuff on Instagram, and we don't run Instagram for that account, but sending it over to the people, they've been doing it for them, and people are seeing that traction already. And it probably took me half an hour to put together 20 assets Instagram friendly in Photoshop. It was a very, very quick job, and it gained a lot of traction. And the last one I want to touch on is Inga. Inga is one some people will be like, what on earth is Inga? Inga is very much like Instagram, basically. It's a visual digital marketing platform. I say digital marketing. It's a visual social media platform that you can use for digital marketing. But where it differs from Instagram is it's a little bit, the best way to describe it is it's a little bit more memey. So it's kind of almost in between, say, TikTok and Instagram. Instagram, obviously videos and stills are on there fine, but a lot of businesses use it to actually promote without actually spot paid promotions. Inga is a little bit more kind of fun and memey. If you've got a community manager, or if you are kind of running as your own community manager, but you are kind of down with the kids and you know about memes and you've got memes locked down and you like making memes and you can relate your game to a current trending meme or something quite funny, Inga is a great platform to you to tap into other audiences there and kind of get your your games some awareness or project some awareness in a more of a kind of curveball marketing fashion. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm rubbish when it comes to memes, and I'm rubbish when it comes to keeping up to date with what memes everyone's laughing at or going on. What I find funny is often 2 or 3 weeks out of date. But I do know as a platform, that's kind of where it goes. You can put videos on there, you can put stills on there, and it is very much an up-and-coming platform. And it's entirely up to you if you want to use it, obviously, or not. But it is, it's like a side salad, is the best way I can describe it. It's not your main course. You're not going to run Inga or Instagram as your, or even probably Facebook, to be honest, or Reddit, as your main digital marketing outsource. That should be Twitter, because it's where the most traction will come from. What you need to decide is, do I want a side salad with my main meal? If I do, what side salad is best for me? Do I have tons of visuals available? Then probably go with Instagram or Inga. If not, do I have a lot of experience with Reddit? Then go with Reddit. Or is it a case of, do you know, I just want something quite relaxing and stuff I can put stuff up to maybe twice a week. Facebook's probably fine for you. But then again, don't feel like you have to have any of them. That's the idea of this video, though, just to kind of break it down for you and what ones are primary and which ones are secondary. But that's going to wrap this video up, guys. It's not as long as the previous one, but obviously the previous one went to a lot more information, especially on Twitter. But just kind of just to finish things off is, and I've stressed this the whole way through these last 2 videos, but I need to stress it again. Do not stretch yourselves thin. It is the biggest mistake I see on social media with any developer. There's this mindset where they have to be everywhere doing everything. And that is just an absolute load of nonsense. It's not going to do your health or your mental health or anyone's mental health any good. Chill out, basically. That's the best thing I can say. Chill out, relax. Focus just on one. And that would be Twitter, in my opinion. Really dig into that. Really dive into that. Tap into the resources available on Twitter, because there are tons. Okay? And then once you feel comfortable with that, once your workflow is leading into that, and actually you're almost like, do you know what? Twitter isn't extra work for me. It's just my daily routine now. Then maybe think, okay, I'm ready to go on to another platform now. What's good for me? What have I got in the back catalogue that I can now use to promote on a separate audience, on a separate platform, and then tap into that there. But don't feel like you have to stretch yourself thin. It is the worst thing I can do. Very good, high quality content on one platform is so much better than bog standard content across 5 platforms. And I'm not the only marketer that's going to say that. I guarantee you. But that's it, guys. That's going to wrap it up. Any articles I mentioned in this video are all linked below, as well as if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can follow me on Twitter and Neil Bedlam on Twitter as well. And just kind of finish up, guys. Any questions you have, ask in the comments. This is a very big thing I've covered over the space of around about 45 minutes over 2 videos, and I could speak about it for hours. Any questions you have, ask below. And also, I'm going to probably be running some Q&A sessions soon. So I'm going to be putting them over on probably Twitter, actually, about asking people to get in touch with their marketing questions. And it'll just be a kind of an in-between, middle of the week I'll release it. Me just going through these questions and answering these questions and showing genuine visual examples of answers to these questions to help you indie devs out and understanding this, what's meant to be confusing world of marketing, but honestly, it's really not that bad, and it doesn't bite. I promise, it doesn't bite. But anyway, enough rambling. You guys have a great day, morning, evening, whatever it is, wherever you guys are. Stay safe, take care, and until next time, goodbye.